the stars. Let me see what spring is like on a Jupiter and Mars. Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on a Jupiter and Mars. Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on a Jupiter and Mars.
Welcome everyone. How's it going? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Got my coffee sitting here with me. Let me know if my audio is coming in clear, hot and heavy. We got a lot to talk about today. First of all, Tesla sitting at 814. What a roller coaster day it's been for the market as a whole, but specifically for Tesla. And to be honest, Tesla's holding up pretty well, I would say. Tesla's sitting pretty much, let's call it a nothing burger day so far, sitting flat on the day. But S&P 500 is down 1.26%, NASDAQ's down 2%. With respect to that, I would say Tesla's holding up really well. Let me know in the chat where you guys are tuning in from, city, state, country. Let me read some out. You guys like the music, hey? Yeah, shout out Marco again. I'm going to keep that as my kind of theme song intro before I go live. So that way I can set up everything, not worry about going live right away. I can just have it up. Awesome. Okay, let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Marcus says audio is clear and hot. I'd love to hear that. Pinedale, Wyoming. Scott, how's it going, my friend? Exploration. Yay. Baton Rouge. Mimi says combining power hour and cheering for Swedish soccer ladies in quarterfinals. Oh, there we go. Hopefully I'm not bugging your soccer time. Missouri. Yo from Memphis. Daniel, how's it going? Sweden, Johannesburg, Amsterdam, Hamburg, Germany, Cleveland, Dublin, Stockholm, Sweden, Hamburg. We got a couple of hamburgers in here. Or is that what you call people from Hamburg? Apologies if that's offensive. Hamburg, I don't know. San Gabriel, Sean, how's it going? So many Juju Gang members in here with Jujus beside their names or Elons beside their names. And others that I know are in the Juju Gang through Patreon, but I still can't connect the icons on here. But shout out you guys. St. Louis, more Sweden, San Diego, Belgium, Anderson, South Carolina, how's it going? Toronto, Belgium, Kreuzberg, Porterville, Exotic Seattle, New York City, hamburgers. Okay, got it. Stefan says, is it getting warm down there? We're supposed to hit 40 this weekend in Kelowna. How's it going, Stefan, from Kelowna? Yeah, it's supposed to, but today it was supposed to be sunny and like 27 or something here. And the last I checked, I went outside, it was cloudy. So I have no idea what's happening. Okay, so we got a lot to talk about today. First of all, let's go into price action. We'll go into some options order flow. The options order flow looked really hot and heavy today, beginning of the day. And then around, I would say 8 or 9, around there, we started to see the call momentum go down. As we sit here right now, I'm more than happy with a flattish day. But we got some breaking news as well to talk about. I was going to save it towards the end, but I think we should probably talk about it first. Breaking, Volkswagen CEO Herbert Diess to leave at the end of August. Bloom, head of the sports cars subsidiary Porsche, Oliver Bloom informs Volkswagen to be named successor. Now, there's a lot of debate, hot and heavy in the Tesla community. Should Herbert Diess join Tesla? Now, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. I want to read some comments out around this. Do you think Herbert should work at Tesla? I don't think there's some people suggesting in the community that, okay, look, he could take over as CEO. And I think that's far stretched. I know Elon wanted that several years ago. I don't think that's a good move. But I do think Giga Berlin, if there's a role there to lead up the German effort, why not? But at the same time, why would he go downwards, right? Maybe he would. I don't know if he'd want to be honest. He can be Giga Berlin VP. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So like this all sounds great in, I guess, theory. Okay, Herbert Diess, lots of experience, undoubtedly. Legacy auto cred, for better or for worse. Why not head Giga Berlin? The question is, would he want to do that? Would a multinational, a CEO of a multinational company, huge conglomerate, want to all of a sudden just be VP of Giga Berlin? And I know Marcus is saying it here. Elon's dream job is not being CEO. I get that. And so that's why I think there has to be some sort of connection here between the two, perhaps. I won't read that out. Senior Director Giga Berlin, playing the role of a big successor, perhaps. Yeah, but Dees could be a great addition wherever he does. Yeah, so I'm mixed on this news. It sounds like you guys are too. Sawyer goes on to say, I wonder if he'll take some sort of role at Tesla. Wouldn't surprise me. This is a big loss for Volkswagen, as I think Dees is a good leader and had the right vision to lead the company into the EV future. We'll see how Bloom does. Elon's also a fan of him. He goes on and tags him. Oh, I don't follow him. Give him a follow. So I guess we'll see. I don't know. I don't think the skills are one-to-one transitionable over from Tesla or over from Volkswagen to Tesla. Tesla's just a beast of its own. It's in a league of its own, technology of its own. So I don't know. Yeah, so Mimi says Elon knows a lot about Elon doesn't want to be CEO, and Dees knows a lot about the quote-unquote competition. I don't know. I think the big value add that Herbert Diess could have is if he would head a lot of the bureaucracy that we've seen in Germany to head off a lot of the internal workings of leading an entire factory there. But you could again make the argument that that's already been done. The heavy lifting is already over, and at this point, you'd have to find something else. I don't think becoming the CEO of Tesla is in the cards, and I hope not, personally speaking. Harry says if Elon wasn't CEO, institutional longs would walk. There's a good subsection of institutional longs that I actually think fit into the opposite category as well, where they buy Tesla, biting their tongue on Elon. I think it's a smaller percentage than the institutional longs that are like, look, we're invested in Tesla because of Elon. So it's ironic that way. It's pretty divisive. Is my interpretation of it, at least. So there's that news. We got a couple price target reiterations as well, by the way, in the last couple of days that we should probably go over. Bill Selesky from Argus Research has a $1,123 price target, reiterated on Tesla yesterday. Let's see, your Credit Suisse, Madeep Mandloy had a $1,000 price target, reiterated. Emmanuel Rosner from Deutsche Bank, $1,125. This is all in the last couple of days after earnings. Jeff Osborne from Cowen & Co., $733 price target. So 10% downside from here, reiterated 2 days ago. Got a handful of these. The highest one being from what I can see, Colin Rush from Oppenheimer. A $1,293 price target, a 58.81% upside on Tesla, reiterated 2 days ago. And Colin is a 5-star Wall Street analyst. So his average return rating is 56%. So take that for what you want. Oppenheimer remains bullish on Tesla following quarterly results. Analyst Colin Rush notes that with Tesla posting largely inline Q2 manufacturing results and in a challenging quarter with upside coming from its non-auto businesses and better than expected operating leverage, there were several notable technology and business model takeaways. First, the supply chain and manufacturing throughput on its Austin and Berlin facilities appear to be tracking well. Second, the 4680 ramp problem solving appears to be making progress towards acceptable yields. Third, FSD is tracking towards full functionality rollout by end of the year, along with a price increase. He's actually one of the few analysts that I say that I actually see talking about FSD and taking Elon's word for it, at least. Last, he is beginning to see the potential, Colin is, that is, for the operating margin expansion to 25%, given scale up and operating expenses or OPEX management, similar to leading technological platforms. So that key part there, I think, is the first part, potential for operating margin expansion to 25%. I think operating margin this quarter, I have to double check, was like 14.6, if memory serves correct. I actually don't know off the top of my head. Someone in the comments let me know. All in, the analyst continues to see Tesla driving both product cost and value ahead of peers and remains bullish on shares. Rush has an outperform rating and a price target of $1,293 on the shares, which is ironically pretty close to our all-time highs on Tesla. Feels like yesterday, but we hit an all-time high on Tesla of $1,243 on November the 4th. Feels like years ago, but November the 4th. Since then, I titled this stream Tesla Rollercoaster. It's been Tesla Rollercoaster a year. Especially that violent rally. I think we all forgot about this rally. Let me know if you guys forgot about it just as much as I did. But middle of March to end of March to a couple first days of May, when we rallied from $765 to $1152, that violent rally where seemingly Tesla did not have a red day for about 2.5 weeks. I completely forgot about this bull run. I was looking at the chart today. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Tesla actually hit 1150 in April. Like, just feels like so long ago. And so as we sit here right now, $813 on Tesla, there's definitely some work to go. Operating margin, Daniel says, was 15.9. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. So 15.9, and Colin Rush is saying it's operating margin is he's looking at an expansion to 25%. 25%. I mean, these are mind-boggling numbers, especially I've gone through my back of napkin math model with you guys, right, on the stream multiple times. I'm happy to do it again if there's enough people wanting to. But, if you change operating margin or EBITDA or, any sort of margin metric you're looking at when you're discounting back, like these are mind-boggling. These are mind-boggling numbers to talk about for an auto company. It's just off. It's off the hook. Okay, let's talk about options. I see here he's asking about option flow. I was going to get into that next. Let's do it now. So option order flow for Tesla, let's change it to the longer term time base here. So let's see here. Options order flow. If you look at the net flow, I actually quite like looking at the net flow chart over here. The green line are calls, the red line are puts. Green line going up is call buying, down call selling. And if you just take a look at it's hard to tell from here, but I have it on my Discord as well. The momentum right now is slightly negative, not massively so. But this morning, as we were rallying, options momentum or call option momentum was continually fueling the fire for Tesla, because Tesla was outperforming the market quite a bit this morning. But as we kind of came into like lunch hour, Subway lunch hour, and even post that, we've yet to see a building up of call or put volume massively one or the other way. I got some questions as well about asking about implied volatility. If you look at implied volatility, it's about 63 IV rank, 63 percentile. And Melo, I see a comment. Perfect. Good transition for us here. Next week is going to be interesting because next week we have FOMC. July 26th and 27th is when they meet. So next Tuesday, Wednesday we'll get the press conference with the decision of probably increasing rates by 75 basis points, maybe 100 basis points if they go wild. So that's the last meeting that I think they have scheduled until September. And now, why not just do a 100 basis point hike next week, call it a day, done? Because by the time the 28th rolls around, which is next Thursday is when I think GDP numbers come out, I believe Thursday. So if GDP numbers come out Thursday and show, look, negative 2 sequential quarters of negative GDP growth, we're in a technical recession. If we're in a technical recession, how will you come back in September and raise rates even more? So I think what to do, if I'm the Fed and I'm meeting next week, I think just overdo it, raise it by 100 basis points, but call it a day. You're going to be in a recession by the end of the week, by the time that you go into summer vacation anyways. And then when you come back, hopefully inflation is trending massively downwards. Because as we sit right now, and we talk about GDP Now estimates, right now the GDP 2-quarter growth, wow, it's huge, estimate is massively down. It's minus 1.5% annualized. So minus 1.5%, we know quarter one was negative as well. It's it's not looking great. So you might as well raise the rates way more than you need to. That's my opinion. Martin says, praying Elon doesn't step down as CEO and Herbert taking over. I don't think that's going to happen. Again, I'll cross my fingers as well, but I don't think that's I don't think that's in the cards. I do think that it's potentially in the cards that he joins Tesla at some point, but replacing Elon as CEO, like Elon we know how defensive Elon is towards people joining the company, upper management who joins. And so I don't see it. By the way, that's part of the problem, right? With Tesla and Elon is like whoever succeeds Tesla or replaces Elon. It's a very unique skill set across, he's multifaceted across many different domains. Hard to replace that. Very hard to replace that. All right. 67 likes, by the way, 68 likes, 69 likes, by the way, on the stream. It's moving as we talk. Nice. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the content. If you're not, no problem. But if you are enjoying the content, hit a like. So I got some other things lined up here for our stream today. Let me pull up Chrome. Sawyer again with all the breaking news specialist. Breaking, Tesla completes Giga Berlin plant upgrade on schedule, begins trial production of Model Y with locally made single piece front castings, single motor, rear wheel drive, and white interiors. First Model Y with 4680 structural pack has reportedly been produced in Giga Berlin. What's really interesting about Giga Berlin that we heard about in the earnings call was that they're already gross margin positive, which is they're very low on their ramp still. So this is amazing to hear, and that's reported by Drive Tesla Canada. So all the upgrades are done in Berlin. Good news there. Yes, I got CNBC pulled up, but they're not talking too much about anything right now. But Yahoo Finance, I found it funny yesterday. I was watching some videos on Yahoo Finance and the way that reported earnings. Was it just me, or was the way that earnings was reported for Tesla in Yahoo or CNBC spun to be like this massive, huge miss when indeed they beat on EPS? And let's say if they even missed on revenue, if you miss on revenue and you beat on EPS, how does that happen? So anyways, let's watch this Yahoo Finance clip that came out here about Tesla reporting earnings with 50% annual average growth in vehicle delivery.
We have some breaking news out. Tesla has its earnings, just releasing its earnings. Pras Subramanian has that for us. Pras.
Hey there, Shauna. So yeah, the stock bounced around a bit here, up after hours. They reported a slight revenue beat of 16.9 billion versus the 16.88 expected. Big bottom line beat here. Q2 adjusted EPS of 227 a share versus 183 a share. So beat on the top and bottom line here. Free cash flow around $621 million, so less than last quarter, but still positive here. They note that Berlin hit a milestone of 1,000 cars produced in 1 week, so that's a big thing for them in terms of the ramp up of that Berlin Gigafactory. They're also maintaining their 50% CAGR growth rate or compound annual growth rate of 50%, which means they'll probably produce around 1.4 to 1.5 million vehicles in 2022. That's actually a kind of reiterating that forecast. So a lot of very positive note there for investors. They've also converted some of their crypto to fiat. Around 75% of crypto converted to fiat. So they're noting.
I asked this on the stream. I'll ask it here again to anyone in the chat, everyone in the chat. Tesla selling Bitcoin, yay or nay? Throw in the chat.
That balance sheet change there. Also, just going to watch, for the call, we're going to watch more on the ramp up in Giga Berlin, Giga Austin. Want to hear more about the China factory, Shanghai factory, how that ramp up is going back. Are they back to normal? And also any supply chain issues, any production issues from that point of view. So I'm going to keep looking at this release here, but back over to you, Shauna.
Thanks so much, Pras. Yep, that forecast here in terms of vehicle.
Literally everyone, other than a couple people saying they're neutral, everyone is saying that they're happy. Tesla sold 75% of their Bitcoin, which I think is quite astonishing, to be honest. Because a couple months ago, if I asked this question in the chat, I feel like it would probably be 60-40. That's hilarious.
Deliveries, I think, is a big reason why we're seeing shares pop. Like you said, up just about 4% after hours. They still expect to see 50% average annual growth in vehicle deliveries. We have Dan Ives of Wedbush coming on later in the show. That was the key thing that he was focusing on in this report, was the guidance for the second half of the year when it comes to deliveries, when it comes to production. When we also want to talk about some of the, I guess, what we could look to in the future here for Tesla, they expect to further increase Shanghai production rate, which obviously is good news here for the company. They did, though, say that they saw a continuation of manufacturing challenges on shutdowns during the latest quarter, something that we were expecting given the Shanghai lockdowns that obviously impacted the company. But Rochelle, looking at this report, it's pretty good here just in terms of what the street was expecting, in line when it comes to revenue, and a beat on adjusted earnings per share, $2.27. The street was looking for $1.83.
And we know that Elon Musk had previously referenced some of these high startup costs for some of these newer manufacturing hubs. So we knew that that was going to take issue there. We know that that was going to come up. But I think this is much better than the street was expecting. I think this does put Tesla in a very strong position. A lot of people wondering how much Tesla would be impacted by those shutdowns in Shanghai. Obviously, we'll hear more in the guidance that comes along with it. But I think this is a very strong earnings report for Tesla.
They like it. They like the earnings.
Tesla grows 42% on the revenue, but margins decline. Let's bring in our panel. William Houston back with a comment on those Tesla earnings. William, what do you see? What's your headline?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so I'm fortunate. I live less than a mile away from the Fremont Tesla factory. And, you know, for us, we can actually see how these trucks are being delivered. And I think Tesla is really good at surprising the market. I think a lot of the estimates, they're kind of softball pitches. I'm shocked by the EP, the earnings per share, but I think, again, the narrative that we had where they were scaling back on some of their staff, that was going to increase net income overall. The China...
Yes, but it would have also added restructuring costs with one-time compensations.
Slowdown, I think, is an issue, like you said, and the supply chain is an issue there. We knew they were going to deliver less cars than before. But I am curious to see just like where that earnings per share actually came from. Was it just a shift in the balance sheet, or was it an effect of the release of a small percentage, like 3% of their total staff came down?
I see a couple comments here talking about this too, about the margin miss, right? Consensus margin, pretty much in line with what margins came out to be. I think the big reason why we can't look at margins as something this quarter was because, I mean, Shanghai was closed for like a month and a half or even longer than that. So, you know, it's really anyone's guess at that point how detrimental of an effect that would have on margins when you have to start up a factory from pretty much from scratch after it's sitting for 1.5 months from COVID shutdowns. That's not easy. And so that's why I think everyone is really bullish on Q3, of course, but Q4 is really where my mind is set on in terms of a longer term basis to look at for Tesla. Rallying here a little bit, folks. 819 sitting on Tesla, 50 basis points up on the day. On a day where the S&P 500 is down 1%, Qs are down 1.8%. So really, I mean, Tesla, for all intents and purposes, should be down 3+% today. And somehow we're agreeing by 50 basis points. So Michael says, brother, you were rocking the hello shirt. I appreciate that. Thank you, Michael. It was supposed to be nice today. Now I feel kind of stupid because it's like overcast and 17 degrees, but thank you. I need the sun. I need the sunnies like a couple weeks ago again. Margins will definitely recover. Yeah, exactly. Like, here's the thing with margin. And actually, I was having a conversation with my dad yesterday, and he's like, well, like, okay, OpEx makes sense. OpEx was heavier this quarter because of one-time fixed costs and whatnot from a startup. But how does that affect gross margin? Like, gross margin is gross margin. And I was having this kind of conversation and debate with him about, look, like, if your factories are off and then you're turning them on again, the first couple of anything you're going to make are going to be super inefficient. There's going to be a lot more waste in the first couple of batches of what you make. There's going to be like these fixed costs that get eaten up in the first several hundred batches of product lines that go through. And so as you kind of lubricate the line, you get back into action. It's like a well-oiled machine after a certain point. 820 sitting on Tesla. We'll definitely play our Tesla closing price guessing game soon as well. Emmett, how's it going, man? Emmett, we've got to have you back on the channel. It's been a while, I think, since you've come on the channel. If you're open to it, we should get you back on. Watch Elon tweet something crazy this weekend. Well, I don't think a weekend goes by where that usually doesn't happen. Elon's been, I mean, oddly quiet with the crazy tweets lately, which is like, I mean, it's pretty baseline to expect, hopefully, but it's not at the same time, right? So let's pull up here. 1 second. Options order flow is still looking relatively mundane, to be quite honest. Options order flow is looking relatively mundane as well. Pretty much sitting at baseline here. We're seeing, what I found really interesting was $8.1 million worth of 850 strike premium coming in for August 5th. And then if you look at the weekly premiums map here on TradyTix, you'll see for November of this year, November 18th strike, $19.7 million worth of premium coming in for the 850 strike. And that's net premium. You know, it's bull premium minus bear premium. So it's net positive. So it's bull outweighing the bears there. 19.7 million. For this week's option, we saw a lot of buying back of 800 strikes as well. Boba, thank you for the super chat. Hey, bro, thoughts on Google's earnings next week, please? Well, Google took a pretty good dump today, didn't it? Let me just check where it's at right now. Snapchat reported earnings yesterday, which don't even get me started on Snapchat. I just not a fan. $108, which feels weird saying on Google, down about 5.4%. My thoughts on Google's earnings is that there's no doubt this quarter is going to be ugly in terms of ad revenue. We were actually having this conversation briefly in our Juju Gang Discord yesterday before Snap reported, and I can see it from the back end from from Google Ads accounts that I run and I have access to and I manage, and then also AdSense I can see. And you can tell quarter one is significantly dampened. So the question is not really what Google's going to report. It's what gets priced in between now and then. One thing interesting with Google also, with Google's earnings next week is going to be if FOMC comes up and it's quite volatile, then what if Google gets another 5% haircut as along with the other market? And at that point, a lot of the bad news can be baked in. So I don't know. I actually don't even know what day they report next week. Yeah, Snap totally cratered it. It's crazy, says Jupiter. Snap, why are we looking at Snapchat for any indication on the market? Snapchat is a microcosm of a microcosm into the advertising network. It's like, you know, it doesn't make any sense. Like, would LeBron James take basketball advice from my high school basketball coach? You know, it just doesn't make any sense. By the way, I loved my high school basketball coach. Shout out you, Coach Corley. But, you know, maybe that's not a good analogy, but it just doesn't make any sense. No credible multinational business has their entire advertising strategy wrapped around Snapchat. It's just, you know, very few. And if they are, they're catering to 13-year-olds. It's Google. It's Facebook. You can even make an argument that it's Bing more than it is Snapchat. It just doesn't make any sense. Jupiter says no one uses Snapchat except some in the US. Well, I think they have a younger demographic base, number one. But I also think they also, you know, for me, I think they also are very sketch sometimes to me with how they talk about daily active users. I have Snapchat installed on my phone since high school, okay? A long time. And I don't use Snapchat anymore. But every day on my other phone, I have my older phone that cracked now, I'll get notifications on there. This news story, that news story, like they'll just bombard you with news stories to get you to click on one of them by accident. And as soon as you click on it, guess what? Now you're a daily active user on their platform. And I think that's how they're really, or one other thing that they do that I haven't deleted it for is like they'll tell you 5 years ago, this is a memory that you have. And then they'll play back your videos or photos from 5 years ago on today. Or, you know, let's say July 22, 2016 or something. And you're like, oh, that's cool. But other than that, I don't know. Hey, Colson, how's it going? How was your Tesla internship? Good to see you back, my friend. Let me just pull this up here. Yeah, so that's why I think with Snapchat, so what? I mean, Snapchat sold off Google. It sold off Facebook quite handsomely, 7.4%. I don't necessarily care too much. And that's why I think we're seeing strength today. We talked about this after hours on Discord yesterday. We said, look, if all of a sudden, if you talk about ad-based platforms and you see that they're getting discounted and re-rated because of a weak quarter, well, all that does is strengthen Tesla. Because Tesla doesn't rely on advertising for revenue. So I think that's what's been playing out today. Yeah, so Tesla is going to split. We know that. We just don't know when yet. So just be a little bit careful. You know, if you're talking about options, order flow, and we're talking about, okay, for example, let's pull up options here. let's say, okay, so there's the 5th of August expiration. Man, that's in 14 days. Holy, wow. Okay. Anyways, if you're betting on split, I would be careful. First of all, cornering yourself in one of these strikes. Now, Tesla on August the 4th is going to have the shareholder meeting where they're going to, I mean, shareholders are, from all I can tell, our shareholders are going to say, yes, we want the split. And so if that gets passed, then at that point, we'll probably get a date maybe on that day. Maybe we get it later in a filing. I'm not entirely sure what Tesla's plan is when to split. It's kind of up to Tesla's prerogative. Once they pass that, to my understanding, they can just pick a day. They can pick it prior to, maybe a couple of days before the shareholder meeting. Everyone knows like September 2nd is when they're going to split, like effective Friday after hours. Like, but they could kind of hold it in the cards as well. I mean, so just be careful if you're playing options specifically for the split, puts or calls. Just be careful. Like we don't exactly know what day it's going to be. It's not promised to be 2 weeks after shareholder meeting. Tesla could kind of hold it in the bag as well.
Thanks for all the hard work, Yashu.
Bahadir, my friend, thank you so much for the 10 euro super chat. Fun fact, Bahadir was actually my first ever Patreon subscriber, funnily enough. So shout out to you, Bahadir. And shout out to all Patreon channel members and anyone that supports the channel. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for blocking the spam there, Hadouken. Oliver says it was set for a 3-to-1 split. Is that set in stone? For all intents and purposes, I would say it is. Because that's what they reference in the shareholder meeting deck, and that's what they've said. So I don't see that they go back on that. That's my opinion. I was like, for a second, I was reading the comments, and I was like, "What do you guys refer?" Oh, okay, I get it now. Yashu, Ganeshan says, Yashu, what's going to be the thunder on AI Day 2? Okay, let's play a segment of wrong answers only. Let's answer this question. What is Tesla and Elon going to present on AI Day 2? Wrong answers only. Wrong answers only. But before I give you my wrong answer, I'll try to actually answer this. I think they'll probably have some sort of Tesla bot prototype. I don't know what it'll actually do. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I'm not very good at these kind of guesses. The Tesla bot stuff, maybe factory lines, how it can affect human labor on the factory line. Who knows? But wrong answers only. What are Tesla and Elon going to present at AI Day 2? Let's go back to the chart, shall we? And let's read some. Let's try to keep it PG. You guys already know the obvious one. Pet grooming robot. Okay. A cat bot. A pet grooming robot. Pet grooming is not cheap, is it? I don't have a dog or a cat yet, but like getting your dog groomed, that's not cheap, is it? That Elon's a bot? The cat bot? The robot butcher? Imagine you go to the butcher and it's just like a bunch of robots back there. The Tesla motorcycle, interesting. I think Elon, there's that famous clip of Elon saying, "We're never gonna have a motorcycle because I almost crashed on it once and they're very unsafe." A physical Twitter bot, how would that work? Like a bot that like just has my timeline on it and just reads it out to me. I'm already addicted to Twitter way more than I need to be, so that wouldn't help. The dancing bot, yeah, that was pretty funny last time. An AI weight loss app, Flintstone footmobile. Okay, Jesus. Okay, this was definitely an edgy question for me to ask. FSD canceled. Everyone gets a bot to drive their Tesla. Paul, that's a very astute point for a second. That'd be actually really funny. Think about it. You go to AI Day 2. Elon says, look, FSD's canceled because we got the Tesla bot who's going to sit in your driver's seat and drive around for you. Imagine that. That'd be the long way of solving something. A dog bot. You know, when I was a kid, my parents bought me like this little like toy dog thing, and I remember I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I was like 3 or 4, and it was like this like plushed out robotic dog toy that would like move around, and if it hit something, it would say "ow" and then fall over. Random story. Very bar dancing. Oh god. Let's see. Angus says, how many likes did you get yesterday? Yesterday, or you're talking about the stream? Not James's stream, but the earnings stream. I don't know. I think we might have come close to 1,000 likes. Which, by the way, we're sitting at 172 right now. So hit the like button if you're enjoying the content. A goat bot. I don't know what a goat bot would be. Yes, Craig, we talked about Herbert leaving. If you want to hear our thoughts in the chat and my thoughts, just rewind probably to the first 5 or 10 minutes of this stream. The funny thing is, okay, I asked wrong answers only. What would Elon and Tesla present at AI Day 2? And half of these I can't even read. This is hilarious. The surrogate bot would solve the population. The Juju bot, Bogdan. Shout out Bogdan. The Juju bot. It reminds me, like, I think I ate all of my oranges on the earnings stream. I bought no joke. I bought $7 worth of oranges for that stream, and they were pretty much all gone. You should have seen, like, I think I showed you guys on the earnings stream how many oranges I had. I ate way too many. Oh god. Okay, this is hilarious. What is that? 2 oranges? Yeah, $7, 2 oranges. Yeah. Honestly, I think on that stream, I think I probably had, I want to say I probably had 7 oranges on that stream. That might sound ridiculous, but I'm pretty sure I had 6 or 7 oranges on that stream. All of them were cut up into 4s or 6s or whatever I did. It was a lot, man. I had a lot of oranges. By the end, that's all I had during that stream. I had my iced coffee, I had my water, and my oranges. And I remember after I finished the stream, I was just going crazy. I was like, man, I've been sitting here for 3.5 hours, enjoying it, by the way. Shout out to you guys if you came. It's not like I didn't enjoy it. But I was like, man, I'm going crazy. I didn't even take a bathroom break. Diabetes. Adam says, when will the Jujubot be available in the merch store? That's a good question. So far as it stands, no, that is not available in at nicejuju.com. Remember, if you're gonna order off nicejuju.com, do yourself a favor and use coupon code. Is it coupon code Juju? I don't even know what my own coupon code is. I'll find out. Maybe someone knows more than I do. I think it's coupon code Juju. Let's see here. Yes, Juju. Okay. Forgot. It's been a long week. We had the earnings stream on Wednesday. I had the stream with James Stevenson on the morning after. And then I'm back here today. It is what it is. You got to forgive me. Michael says, Yash, we got to get you sponsored by Florida citrus growers. I am down. If there's any Florida citrus growers in the chat, let me know. I've been trying to go back to Florida. It's just been Abby also wants to go back to Florida. It's been on our agenda. 81680 sitting on Tesla at the moment. What is CNBC talking about? They're talking about FTX. I don't really care too much about FTX, to be honest. Andy says Keanu Reeves will be announced as the director of Doge. Oh god. Hadouken, shout out to you. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Official type of orange for the channel. Okay, I've given this long and hard deliberation. So she said, it's okay. I've given it such deliberation that I forgot the name now. What's that variety? Okay, help me out, Juju Gang, in the Discord that I shared. The sumo. There we go. The sumo. That's the type of variety of orange that apparently everyone loves the most. And I've had it, and it's very sweet. Sumo. Clementine. Yeah, clementines are okay. Folks, happy Friday, by the way. Shout out to you guys. We're just here on a Friday stream having fun talking oranges. We'll go back into Tesla talk in a hot second here. But leave me your thoughts on the ever so popular Sumo orange. These are apparently the goats of the orange world. I don't know who anointed them the goats, but the hype around these are real. Look at her. Look how happy she is seeing the Sumo beside her. There's just something about these orange, and they look funny. Like, I don't know. To be honest, if I saw these in a store before you guys, I probably wouldn't have bought these because I'd be like, oh, they're like old and wrinkled up oranges. But they are very expensive. Yes, they are. They're not cheap. Free the Sumos. Oh, God. Oh, happy Friday, folks. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hitting. If this doesn't drive you away from the channel, you're officially one of us. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll get into some Tesla talk here. But where was the comment I saw? Was it? Oh man, who was it? Michael? Was it Michael? Michael, I think it was Michael saying that he's in Florida. Oh, no, who's in Florida? That I missed the chat. Someone said I'm in Florida and I grow. Steven. Yeah, Steven, I think you're in Tampa, right? I'm in Florida and grow some fruits. That's why I want to move to Florida, is because the ability to grow your own fruit. Anyways, the Sumos are where it's at. I've even tried to update the Juju logo to reflect more of a Sumo-esque look, but your boy's not very good at graphic design, and the person that I paid, actually, it was a long story, went back and forth. I had to fire him, got a new guy. He sucked even more. I was tired of it. Fiddled around with myself. We're good. We're good now. But maybe one day I'll update the logo to be more Sumo oriented. You guys like Sumos? Maybe it says you can't find Sumos in Sweden. Yes, I used, Fiverr, exactly. Gonzalo says, a reminder for any options, people that have options open. Thank you, my friend. Every Friday, your boy always needs... I bought some SPY puts or SPX puts yesterday, but they were so out, and they're expiring on Monday. But they're so far out the money that I don't even think we're gonna get hit with that. But we'll look at the options order flow as we end the day here today, because the options order flow actually has a lot of good information into the following week. One thing that's interesting though is we're not seeing a huge amount of orders coming in massively, like 10. Actually, let me refresh. Let me just sort this. 121 orders for 840 strike this week. The only thing we have for next week is 850 calls, 65 orders, and 11.78 million. So actually quite a bit there. But other than that, it's pretty quiet in terms of call or option or call or put volume. And we're seeing not a lot of volume per se on the put side. So 850 strikes are what they're coming at for next week. But we'll keep our options order flow ready to go with short expirations. And what else did I do? Short expirations. And we'll just keep it there for now. I was going to do non-spreads, but whatever. We'll keep that open. Yes. Okay, let's do it. Let's do our Tesla closing price guessing game. Remember, one guess per person in the chat. Throw in your prices right Tesla closing price guess for today. Remember, price right rules means you have to be at or under to win the virtual Juju. If you're over by even a penny, you are disqualified. Blake says, what do Canadians use for options? I'm a Canadian as well. Interactive Brokers is probably the cheapest one for options, I'd say. They're quite cheap. You do have to pay for data per month, but when you talk about commissions and if you do enough trading, which I haven't been doing that much lately, but Interactive Brokers is where it's at. They actually wanted to sponsor the channel, but I kind of blew it. I never replied to them. But they wanted to sponsor the channel and give me a link where every time people click the link, I'd get 50 cents or something. I don't even know what it was. But I just never replied to them. I forgot to. But I don't care. I'm happy to plug them because that's what I use. Okay, 817 sitting on Tesla. Execution quality with IBKR is the best, says Emmett. Emmett would know. Trust Emmett. Yeah. Interactive Brokers is institutional quality. It's an institutional quality trading platform for retails. But the problem is if you're a retail investor and you really don't know anything about options or, setting up your own platforms, it can be a lot. Yes, there's tutorials out there, but if you're a complete newbie, or if you're used to Robinhood and that's all you care about and you don't like anything else, it can be a pretty steep learning curve. But if you really want to get into trading, options volatility analysis, insert any sort of algo trading. If you wanted to build your own algo, Interactive Brokers, you can API into it and they make it quite easy to. It's really the platform to be on, especially as a Canadian. But yeah, it is ugly a little bit. Okay, well, yeah, what's my guess? My guess is, and by the way, I didn't tell you guys, volume weighted average price for the day is 826. I'm going to guess 821. 821. I'll throw mine in the chat as well there. 821. Yeah, well, macro's puking. Let's see here. Yeah, we're pretty much tracking with the NASDAQ in terms of minute-to-minute tracking now. But remember, the NASDAQ is down 2% on the day. With a beta of 2, maybe even, let's say a little bit less than 2, Tesla should be down 3.5% for the day. So if Tesla's flat on the day, Tesla's actually outperforming by 3.5% is the way I look at it. Michael says, have I ever won this? I think one time I came close to winning, but someone beat me. If I ever won this, I'd it's like the ultimate, you know what I try to do? I try to keep my guesses whole, like on a whole number, because like very rarely will we ever close on a whole number. But I've come close. It'd be pretty embarrassing if I won. Jupiter says, how does volume weighted average price work? How does VWAP work? Good question. So volume weighted average price, really simple way to look at it is, okay, if every minute Tesla is at a different price point, that's great. But what if we wanted to weigh different minute prices at different levels? Meaning, if let's say at 1226, like this one, Tesla had a volume in that minute candle of 109,000 shares. And that minute Tesla closed at I don't even know what it is, 8:18.25, okay? Whatever it was. Well, maybe we want to weigh that candle a lot more than we weigh the candle at 12:29, where at 12:29, Tesla only had 55,000 shares traded on that minute, right? So volume weighted average price is a way that we can weigh price points across the day differently enough to, or I should say, appropriately weigh them to a degree where we can see, okay, where's the median price point for the day, right? And median being median according to where the volume was for that day. And so you don't have to do this on a minute per minute basis. You can do this across the order book. I mean, it's not like you're going to be sitting there calculating it, but that's what VWAP tries to do. And a lot of institutional trading is done with VWAP. A lot of people have their whole trading strategies with volume weighted average price. So just for me, it's kind of like a magnet. I look at it as kind of a magnet, not always, but I kind of look at it as a magnet of, okay, where with, if nothing were to happen, it would kind of be a nothing burger day. Where could we potentially drift towards? Marcus says, can someone explain why Twitter is up today while NASDAQ is down 1%? Is Twitter up? Twitter's up. Yeah, 65 basis points. I have no idea what Twitter is up, but volume's pretty low on Twitter. It's only 22 million. Twitter's a lost cause for me. I didn't buy into Twitter. I know my dad. I should actually ask my dad if he still has his Twitter shares. But yeah, Twitter is a kind of a lost cause for me. Thank you, Mimi. Appreciate that. We're sitting at 212 likes. 212 likes. Maybe we can get to 572 people watching. 570. Apparently, 2 people are like, man, this guy sucks. I get it. But hit the like if you're enjoying the content. Boyle says, it's TD not good trading in Canada? TD is good. I like TD. In fact, that's where I love their Thinkorswim platform. But they're really heavy on commissions. Like you have to pay like $10 flat per side on a trade. So good luck with that. Good luck with that. Yeah, it's just very expensive. So if you do trading, it's not the place to be. That's why I buy like shares. Longer term stuff you can buy through there, but for the most part, if you're doing like options trading or something, it's not the platform to be on as a Canadian. Okay, Marty asks you a question. When does Tesla get investment grade credit? Okay. So I have a video out on this. I'm not going to play the video. That'd be pretty savage. But I have a video. Let me try to actually find my findings on this. So investment grade credit. This is the next big catalyst, I think, to look at for Tesla. And perhaps that's why we went up. Perhaps that's why we went up this week substantially so after earnings, because apparently it's imminent. But I have a video out 6 months ago. Hey, is that 6.9? Yeah, 6.940 views. It's called Tesla Investment Grade Credit Rating Upgrade ? And it's a deep dive into Moody's and S&P. It's I kind of do the boring reading so you don't have to in the video. Long story short, TLDW, and I'll leave the link here. You can watch it later. Don't leave now. I'll give you the recap here in 30 seconds. Basically, S&P and Moody's both wanted to wait until Berlin and Austin were online with their factories and making sure that the margins that come out of those factories weren't substantially affecting Tesla's margin. So last quarter or this quarter earnings report that we got, I don't think we've gotten the 10Q yet, but once we do, it'll be official. Tesla has said that Giga Berlin was positive gross margin for the quarter. And if you just look at gross margin as a whole, it hasn't taken a fat hit, even with the shutdowns. Like, I think what these guys were tracking for margin was something extraordinarily low. So I think Tesla's actually officially met that. Now, barring them changing the criteria of what they're looking for or hanging up on a technicality, like saying, well, Berlin's great, that's awesome, but, Texas isn't there yet, and, we want to wait on Texas. Barring that happening, I think we probably get investment credit upgrade fairly soon. In this video, I say that my guess was July, I think I said July after earnings report. And so we sit here now, we have 8 or 9 days until the end of the month, add a couple of weeks margin of error. So maybe by middle of August, maybe we get an upgrade by then. But nonetheless, I think we might get an update regardless. Even if we don't get an upgrade, we're probably going to get an update as to what they think. That's my guess. Yeah, Tesla has no debt. Yeah, no, exactly. That's the ironic part, right? Tesla has virtually no debt, no risk of bankruptcy. They've quite literally faced so many force majeures. They've had to shut down their factories multiple times in the last 2 years, and yet have this tremendously strong balance sheet, unwavering demand, robust pricing power. I don't want to point at corruption per se, but I do think they're slow on their feet and they have no incentive to get quicker on their feet about it. But as Elon said, Elon said this himself. He said, I don't necessarily care. It's not like we need to raise any money. So Martin says, what are the implications of an upgrade? I talk about that in the video. I hope. Yeah, I think I do talk about that in the video a little bit. I think it's important. I think there are certain investors, portfolio managers, that may not want to invest in a company if it's not investment grade. And I get it. This is the credit we're talking about, not the equity. But at the same time, a lot of portfolio managers may have certain requirements and funds that, hey, unless it's investment grade, we're not touching these stocks. And so I think it's good optics, number one. Not that that matters too much. But number two, I think it actually enables a lot of portfolio managers that might have self-selecting criteria of investment grade credit to actually start investing in Tesla. That's my opinion. And so I guess we'll see how big of an upgrade it'll be, or how big of an effect it will be from that. I tend to think it will be because actually, I talked about this in the video now that I remember. My thesis partly was that if you go back, do you guys remember, October 22nd, I'm back on October 22nd. Bear with me for a second here. Go back in your memory bank. Do you remember when October 22nd came around? That weekend, we got the Tom Brady Hurts news, and everyone talked about how that was the reason why Tesla rallied so much the following week. Like, oh, Tom Brady's Hurts. Like, why does the market love this news so much? And And if you notice as well, the Monday and the Tuesday, we got almost identical volume days, 62 million shares traded on 25th and 26th of October for Tesla. I think what got missed was we also got an upgrade in credit rating, not investment grade, but we got we actually got an upgrade. I have to go back and pull this up to fact check, but we got an upgrade. And I think missed in the Hertz Tom Brady news and everything around that was quietly that Tesla got credit upgraded that weekend or that Friday after hours. I forget what it was. Memory serves correct. And I think that got missed. And so part of my thesis, maybe this is a big tinfoil conspiracy and happy to be disproven if not. I just don't think the Monday and Tuesday 62 million shares traded on each one of those days was just because of Hertz and Tom Brady. That's just my thoughts. And so looking at that effect, I'm not saying by the way, this is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying we're going to rally like we did from $870 all the way to $1243 within 2 weeks because of that. But I was saying maybe that opened up the floodgates for a potential pool of investors that maybe had criteria set for that. So we'll see. Even if we get a 5% jump, that's probably still a win, my guess. But it's funny because we're having this conversation on Discord as well, and we were saying, okay, well, if it even goes up 5%, 5 or 10%, that's great. But what if macro is ugly anyways, and it's all for naught? So, but again, these are all considerations that I'm trying to tie down. Marcus says upgrade from extreme junk to less junk grade. Yes, that was when we got it was one rung below investment grade. Exactly. Still junk. All right, we got 3 minutes left till market close here. Tesla's sitting at $816.21 sitting on Tesla here. We got a couple minutes left here till close. S&P 500 is down 1.06%. NASDAQ down a little bit less, actually, at 1.88%. So, Mr. Abdul says, loving the shirt. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Marcus says, upgrade is certainly more important than any stock split. Yeah, I mean, you definitely get into the arguments with those people that think stock splits are completely useless and don't mean anything for anyone, and why would you care? But I mean, factually speaking, yes, like it doesn't really actually matter for a stock to split, but at the same time, it's quite it affects people quite a lot in terms of retail investors and options traders as well, I should say. All right, a couple minutes left here to close. Hopefully everyone got their closing price guesses in the chat. Let's see here. Yeah, complete bias against the company. Yeah, I mean, there might be a bias here. I think there's more of a slow playing it for whatever reason. Martin says, Gary Black thinks companies that split have better stock outcomes. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it's the whole like chicken or the egg, correlation or causation. Do really strong companies split stocks more often, or do stock splits lead to stronger companies? Like it's like, which way do you think the cause is going more? So by the way, for all intents and purposes, if you're asking for my opinion on this, I think stock splits are great. I think I kind of look at Apple as kind of like the gold standard with how they've managed their how corporately they've managed everything, stock splits, buybacks. And I think Tesla is following the trajectory of early Apple already. There it is. There's the market close. So I think it makes sense to continually split every so many years. Okay, it's the chicken. Okay, awesome. 816.73 finishing the day on Tesla. Let me pull up who has won this virtual Juju prize. Okay. Sugar Birdie II guessed 816.28. Okay, pretty close. Christina Kim guessed 816.19. Paul guessed 816.12. Tom Richardson, I think, might. Okay, hold on. I got 7 more to go through. Tom guessed 816.35. So far it's Tom. Alexis guessed 816.33. So if Tom still beats you there, I guessed 816, or I guess 821. Samir Patel guessed 816.42. Okay, so 42 is the number to beat by Samir Patel. Litwa guessed 81606. Judy. Oh, Judy. I think Judy won recently too. 81650 is what Judy guessed. So far it's Judy. Oh, but you know who takes the cake here? Ted guessed 81669. Can someone just verify? Can someone just verify for me that we indeed closed at 81673? Hadouken, you beat me. Ted T, 81669. Hadouken, you're fast with that. Ted, congrats, my friend. Virtual Juju, I'll throw some through the camera lens to you for the weekend. Congrats to you. Okay, 81673. Okay, so that's correct. Sometimes my Weeble just likes to act up on me for whatever reason. 81709, the Plaid Conservative says. Let me just check Google 1 sec. Sometimes it's just off. No, 81673. Just maybe wait a second here for your TD to refresh there. Awesome. Congrats, Ted. Judy came pretty close as well. I see your emoji there. Awesome. Well, beautiful week. I'll leave you with these parting thoughts. Remember, put your phone technology away. Go make some memories. Spend time with family, friends. Go spend time in nature. Do whatever you need. It's been a busy week, right? Wednesday, we had earnings call, 3.5 hours. Shout out to you guys if you joined me. A lot of familiar faces from there. Thursday, we had James Stevenson on channel. If you haven't already, go check out that interview that I did with James. He's awesome. If you want to talk about financials, bottom line numbers, what to look at for the end of the year, how he's viewing everything, that's the interview to watch. It's my last video. Go watch that if you haven't already. And then today we had Power Hour on what a roller coaster day. Like it really felt like today we were going to close green 2 or 3% again and all this sort of stuff. But green 2 or 3, you can't really win all of them. That it is what it is. And to be fair, the market is in an insane dumpster fire at the moment, 2% down for the NASDAQ. So I'll take that as a win to end the week. I'm just going to link everyone here to the James's interview towards the end. And so great week. I appreciate you guys always supporting, always leaving me nice comments, even people that don't leave nice comments. And all Patreon members, channel members, if you haven't already and you want to join potentially, what perks do you get? Well, every now and then I'll do an early video and I'll give you access to that probably for a day before it goes out. If I do more of an in-depth video or sometimes an interview. If you want to join our Discord though, our chat where we talk pretty much all week, even the weekend mostly, Tesla, general market, there's a general market, there's an all companies EV chat, YouTube videos, options, some of the nicest people that you ever meet. Bring the good vibes if you're going to join in there. Patreon membership over $5 gets you in on there. Link is in the description, hopefully. Did I miss anything else? I don't think so. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I appreciate everyone supporting, and an amazing week nonetheless. 81673 finishing the week on Tesla. And hopefully next week it brings us the same amount of excitement as we have. All right, guys, much love. Take care. I'll catch you in the next one. I'll send you over, by the way. I think I can do this. I'll see if I can. I'll redirect you over to the James Stevenson channel if you want to go, or the James Stevenson interview if I can. Oh, I don't. Okay, no worries. Okay, go watch that video if you haven't already. Hadouken, thank you so much. You need jingles for all your segments. I do. If anyone can make jingles, I know it's like people are dropping off. If anyone makes jingles, help a brother out. I'd appreciate that. Okay, much love. Take care, everyone. Peace.